All right, guys. Hi, welcome back, and thank you so much for being here. It has been a very long time since I've posted a video. It's pretty wild. So I haven't really posted since April of 2026 this year. We're about 4 days out from June 1st. So it's been, a good couple months. And the reason being is we decided to completely redo our home garden. Last year when we moved on the homestead, my husband rented a skid steer, completely removed all the sod and everything from it. We placed out our garden and we only ended up filling about a third of it last year. And then due to injuries and other things and us being overwhelmed to starting a homestead for the first time, we fell behind on maintaining. So it kind of got overgrown with weeds and a bunch of things happened. So we ended up getting a tiller. The tiller did not work. You're going to see it in this video. It actually had to go in and get maintenance twice. We are getting a new one on Monday. It is being covered under warranty, but we had to rent one. And my husband went through and did the entire garden area with me and my kids following behind, getting all the weeds, getting all the rocks. And then we also had soil delivered, so that had to be moved in to create and lay out the new garden beds this year. So on top of all of that work, we've also been trying to keep up on all of the land's maintenance in general. Last year we fell behind on mowing and kind of like suppressing all of the weeds and all the natural things that grow here. We were not prepared for how much work it was. We have about 10 acres of property, so it's been a lot of like maintaining and mowing and picking a spot where we want to completely rip out like overgrown vegetation just to start clearing it and doing the landscape. So, as I have been trying to document little things here and there, but honestly, I just wanted to get it done. Once this garden's done and we have like the hard work laid for us, like the groundwork, every year from here on out is going to be a lot more beneficial for us to grow and add to the garden. So pulling out my camera and setting it up every day or moving it every time I needed to do like a new part of the project or a new, I don't know what you consider it, just all the hard labor, it was just too much for me to keep up. So I really apologize. And I do thank you guys for watching this video. It is going to be lengthy. It's going to be long because I took a lot of clips and I think what I saw it being at already is like an hour. So if you ended up watching the whole thing, thank you so much. You also get to see really cool clips of my animals this year. The ducks that we got last year and we raised them, they're actually moms and they started hatching today. Today is May 28th. So today for like the next 4 or 5 days, I think that a lot of the ducklings are going to be hatching. So I'm going to show clips of them as well. So it's been busy, but life's great. And we really like how the garden is turning out and how the flower garden walkway that we laid out and everything has turned out wonderful. So it's just about maintaining, and hopefully I can post more videos moving forward for the homestead and through the growing season, because I really want to document the garden and all the things that I cook from the garden. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video.
Yes, that was an old one. They don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Now everything's non-tradable. They don't like there's a whole history behind it. engages the drive when you pull that down. It's gonna start going.
Let's see if we can get it.
It's like the.
It's like what?
It's like the dump truck pooped it out.
Oh. And then you guys scooch over so she can see.
Oh, okay.
You want to see?
There you go. See? Wow. Dumping out another one. He's pooping it out again. What a poop. Here's poop. Ah. Poop Sawyer.
The dump truck's giving us lots of soil for our garden.
Why?
So that we have fresh soil.
And they are dig guys?
Yeah.
I hope some worms are in the dirt to be this.
There it goes. There it goes.
I want to be a dump truck guy. Because it's a lot of fun. And I also want to be a boat guy and a fighter. Ah! A big dump of soil.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. Whoa.
Ah!
Okay, so I have my project of the day. We're going to be setting up the green stalks that I ordered back in October of 2025. And then we are also going to be throwing in the bare root strawberries that I bought. And I bought 3 different varieties. And I need to soak them in some water for an hour, I believe. So we're going to get these started so that we can get them in the planters. And I'll go over each variety that I got. Let me see. I don't know if these tags tell me. Let's see here. Okay, so I got the Strawberry Seascape, the Albion, and the EV2. We're going to be putting those at the top of the green stalk. So that's what we'll be working on today. And then I bought these wheel bases at Costco. I thought this was a good deal. I'm going to try it out. Hopefully they work for the green stalks, because the ones that are actually on the green stalk website are pretty expensive. So I'm hoping that these will do the same thing for me, so it's easier to move around. If not, we'll figure something out. But that is what I'm hopeful for. So this is our project for today. I'm going to get these soaking, and then I'm going to start setting up the green stalk and filling it with soil that we got delivered the other day for the garden. All right, first one done. So excited, and it took about 1.5 wheelbarrow to fill. So I gotta do the rest of this and then go get more for the other stand. But I'm very excited to plant in these. All right, so the other day I did my green stalks and we filled them with strawberries. So I have this one and that one over there. And then today I'm starting to bring all of the seedlings that I planted outside so they can start getting acclimated to actual sunlight. And I did start some new things. So like this tray right here are my melons. So I have watermelons and cantaloupes. And then underneath the table over here, I have pumpkins and squash. And then the rest of these are all things that we planted together, whether they're peppers or tomatoes. My tomatoes are not doing good this year. I don't really know what happened. Hopefully they perk up, but I'm losing a lot of my tomato plants and I'm not sure what's going on with that. And then on the table, we have a lot of different things. We have our onions, peas, all my lettuce, lots of onions coming up, lettuce and spinach back there, a lot of cabbage. So everything's kind of just very, they're trying to wake up to the sunlight. And we'll see what happens. I am a little nervous this year just because so many things are not doing well. I think it's because the weather's been so cold. So a lot of my seedlings aren't as strong as I was hoping for. Last year, my tomatoes were fantastic and my peppers died. This year, my peppers are doing amazing. I haven't lost one yet, but I'm losing all my tomatoes. So I don't really know what's happening, and hopefully they survive. I did start new trays in the house of tomatoes and a few other things, just in case for backups. They'll be a little bit behind, but yeah, these guys are looking sad. So I just wanted to update you guys on the garden. The green stalks, we're about 4 days in now with the green stalks, and then we just tilled the flower garden. We're going to be adding a new walkway, so I'll definitely film that whole part, but we're going to make it easier to get to the ducks and the goats. And then I want this to be a hard flower garden, and I want to make a path that goes straight to the opening to my main garden right here. So all of that will be coming, and it's a beautiful spring day. I'm absolutely loving it. The chickens are loving it. Me and the kids have been outside for most of the day, and I don't know. I love this time of year. I'm excited for my plants and I'm excited to see things grow. So through this part of the video, we have been working on the garden for about a month. My husband had to rent the tiller that you see him using because the one that we received came broken. The gears didn't work properly. So the fact that we had to put it in the shop twice, we weren't able to use it. We still had to rent a tiller. It was unfortunate. It set us back quite a bit of time, but we were able to all work together as a family, including my ducks. You'll see them running in the background. They're getting all the bugs and all the good stuff as we're tilling and raking and removing rocks from the actual garden. So a lot was happening, but it was just nice to do this work as a family. It took us all weekend pretty much to do the garden. So we started early in the morning. We took breaks when it got too hot. We made smoothies. We got to hang out with our ducks as they were walking around with us. The weeds in the actual garden were pretty easy to pull out, and everything that was overgrown was taken care of so that we could start planning where we were going to lay out a lot of our garden rows. So that was our main focus, was to remove large rocks, get rid of as many weeds as possible, and then start laying down the garden beds so that we can put in the new compost for this season, and hopefully we'll be able to just keep building from here. I did take a short break to water my ducks. We are missing a couple. I don't know where they were at this time, but it was hot, so I wanted to make sure that they were getting water and just cooling off a little bit since they weren't near their pond. And yeah, I'm gonna continue this video and you'll just see the progress of the garden, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. Oh yeah, and also during this time, I had 2 females that decided to go broody, so we were going to allow them to try and hatch their own ducklings this year naturally. I'm not going to incubate, I'm not going to intervene, I just want to see how they do. So so this is my favorite part of doing the garden so far. This is my 2nd season doing our garden. We've been working really hard to go through and get all the weeds, get the pathways clear. We obviously still have a bunch of work to do in the back, but yesterday I started putting some of my plants in this back raised bed, and I'm planning out the front one. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it because my lettuce, I don't want them burning up too fast during the summer, but I did start laying out the rows of some peppers and tomatoes that I'm going to be putting in the ground. And my celery is still live over there, so that's going to stay, but we still have lots of work to do. I have lots of dirt and compost to be putting in here, along with a lot of weeding still. So just day by day, I'm going to take a section like this, get it cleaned up, add fresh manure, add fresh compost, and just keep working on the garden. So this is the beginning of the 2026 growing season, and I'm really, really excited for it. And I also want to show you guys my rose garden. Look at these guys. They just started opening yesterday. I don't know if I can. There we go. Look how beautiful. This bush is covered in blooms, by the way. So I'm really, really excited to see this blow up and be a beautiful baby pink colorful display for a little bit. This part of the garden today. It's about noon, it's hot. I just refreshed the top of the beds from last year, and we are still gonna till in between and get all the grass and weeds that are left behind that we couldn't get out, but these are clean and they are ready for planting, along with that side as well. So for now I'm gonna start working on planting all of these out, and then I think maybe later tonight or tomorrow I'll start in the middle section of the garden and clearing those rows and just keep cleaning the walkways and clearing things to make it more clean, if that makes sense. This is my 2nd year. We're trying. I'm hopeful that we can keep up on the weeds this year and suppressing them. Last year I got hurt because one of my goats knocked me over and tore up my knee. So I was just in the processing phase and canning the garden instead of keeping it clean. So I'm hopeful for this year to just keep going and keep improving it. But this is what we did today. So I feel pretty good about it. And I'm hoping to continue and get these beds done over here. We need to weed out the blueberries and get them all cleaned up and then start working, like I said, the middle section and then the last remaining back part when I'm ready to do that, because there's a lot going on down there. Yeah, I'll just keep you guys updated. I can see. She's been sitting there for 2 days. She didn't come out for anything. She should have 8 or 9. Try it? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna leave. Alright.
How do you know? What is tomorrow?
Okay, so we're a little late on the ball for getting these planted, but today I am putting in my dahlias and I'm going to be sprinkling a lot of the seeds that I saved last year. So I have a lot of different sunflower seeds and some zinnia seeds in here. I also have nasturtiums, and then there's a bunch more zinnia seeds that I saved as well that I'm going to be sprinkling in this landscape right here. And then I do plan on putting more flowers out in my garden. Once I get it all done and my tiller gets here, I'll probably be sprinkling them along the edges this year. So that's the goal, that's the plan. We'll see how far I get. And yeah, so today this is my project, and these are the dahlias that I picked up from Costco this year. I think they're really, really pretty. I did pick out a lot of these to keep my sister-in-law in mind, because their future wedding, I'm hoping that I can produce all their flowers for their wedding. So I have a bunch of these. I also have a whole other box of dahlia tubers from my first year that I will be throwing in the ground. Unfortunately, I didn't tag them well, so they all got mixed up and some of them didn't survive. So I'll just be scattering them in this garden as well. So that is the plan for today. And yeah, I have a lot of maintenance to do. So this is my project. All right, so like I was saying, today's project is putting my dahlia tubers in the ground and then also trying to get sunflowers, nasturtiums, and some zinnias planted. Last year, I did not have nearly as many dahlia tubers as I do this year. And I pretty much already filled up this area, which is crazy. I'm gonna try to scatter some of these around the new ones, because I don't think these ones are good anymore. I think a lot of them rotted. So I'm just gonna plant the best looking ones and then see if they actually grow. And then don't mind the chaos over here. All my herbs are in pots. I haven't been able to put them back in the garden yet. But this is like my lavender garden, and I think what I'm gonna do is plant dahlias in between the flowers that I have over here. So it's been a while. I haven't weeded in a couple weeks, but I'm gonna come through and just clear out some space, and maybe I will put, like, this is a big old weed. This whole spot is open. I just need to take this out. And there's a sunflower trying to grow right there. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna come through, just clean this out and put some tubers over here as well. So my current project right now is working on this box of tubers from last year and seeing if there's any decent ones. Oh, there is one with a tag. So AC Ben. Oh, and it is trying to grow. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was so worried, but it looks like it's trying. So I'm gonna get this in the ground and hopefully we can save some of my dahlias from last year. All right, so I think I have all the dahlia tubers where I want to put them. A lot of the ones actually that I stored last year are growing, and they look like they're going to start growing. There's little green like sprouts trying to come out of them. So we're gonna plant them. We're gonna play it by ear and just kind of play with the landscape to see if they will be healthy enough. So this is what we've got down this rockway. I have all of them labeled except for a few in the ones from last year that I did not label very well, going all the way up. And then we have some at the top over here, and they come all the way down. So this whole garden is going to be dahlias. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. I'm gonna start bringing some soil over, and I need to finish putting in the rocks, and we will start watering this area today. All right, so I'm out of breath, but this is where it's at. All the dahlias are in the ground. I started laying some pine shavings down. I'm trying to get my chicken coop cleaned out just to kind of help. Whew, hang on. Just to kind of help me minimize the weed growth until dahlias start coming through. I'm gonna do my best to keep up on maintenance. Every time I weed something, I wanna cover it with pine shavings or straw, whatever I have available, so that I have an opportunity to keep up on my property. So this is what I've gotten done so far. It took all day. So I'm gonna go inside, drink some water, and relax. And hopefully all the lovely things in this garden will start blooming and producing. I'm really excited for this year, along with us getting this garden done. My husband put up a fence for me because last year my dogs decided that they were gonna eat all my melons. So they cannot be trusted. So putting up a gate is gonna help with that, but it also makes it feel more official, like an official garden, because for a while I was just staring at dirt. So the fact that there's actual wooden posts and a structure, and he's going to make me new entry gates, it's starting to feel more like a garden. So we still have lots of work to do in here. Next, I'm going to be weeding around my blueberry bushes and then mulching this area as well. And just watching the garden grow. I'm so excited. Everything's still alive. Everything's nice and healthy. And I am just really happy and hopeful for this year. So, hi, good morning, guys. I am in the garden again. I'm going to be in the garden every day doing projects until we get done with laying out the garden the way we like, and we're going to keep weeding and then figure out if we're going to lay down mulch, gravel, or just leave it dirt and till it as we go. But this morning I've already laid out, well, first I weeded around the blueberry bushes because they were covered, and I thought I was filming but it didn't record. So you guys get to see me at the end. I'm just going through and trying to straighten out the weed barrier a little bit more and put it down with some ground staples. And then the plan is to cover this with coconut mulch that we got from Costco, to just kind of prevent this area from growing, because this is a permanent location for our blueberry bushes. And then hopefully I can continue through the marionberries and the raspberry bush over here as well. And maybe I'll get to the grass. The grapes. But I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to make it over there. But so far, this is as far as I've gotten. And it's nice and covered. There's no openings other than around the blueberries, which is going to be easier to weed. I can just pull weeds as we go, and then the rest of it hopefully will stay nice and maintained, just like the flower garden that I did yesterday. I'm going to keep it mulched to prevent weeds from going. So there's lots of projects to still do, and this is what I have going on so far, and I'll just keep filming. Hopefully I can get this cleared out too, because I want this little area next to all of the perennial bushes to be my herb garden. So I hope I can get all my herbs in this area today if I have time and if I have the energy to do so. So that is my next project after I complete this one. All right, so you guys have seen me do the planting of the dahlias, and you saw when it was just the landscape fabric with the rocks being built. Now I have the actual river rock added, and then my husband put up this temporary fence because my dogs like to run through and they like to dig, so we want to give this area a chance to get a little bit bigger before they start trampling all over the place. But a lot of the dahlias and sunflowers and zinnias are starting to come up. So like right here we have a dahlia. There's one right here. I actually didn't plant this one. I think this one was from last year and I just missed the tuber. There's some more back here. They're all starting to come up, and then there's a ton of sunflowers and zinnias, but this is the overall walkway. I love how it turned out. This is the old path that leads to the backyard, and I don't know if I'm keeping this. I think I might just have this one be the main one, and then we can walk back where the really old original raised beds were for the garden. We're in the process of tearing out all the rebarb and the old pieces of wood so we can flatten and keep this nice and clean, and we're going to figure out later in the future what we're doing with this area. But for now, we have this temporary fence to keep these wonderful things out of my garden because they love to go in there. But I love how this turned out. This turned out really well, and I'm excited to see everything grow and get larger, and we'll just keep maintaining. I did plant some perennial things, so I have a few salvias. There is a willow in the back here, and it's supposed to get like 8 feet tall by 5 to 6 feet wide, so it'll be cool to fill in that back area with that. And I think just over the years I'm going to keep adding perennial plants into this area, and then I'll keep expanding out into the garden where we can grow along the fence line and put flowers up and do all kinds of different things every year. But this is the end of this video. I'll walk over so you guys can kind of see the garden and what it is. This has been 2 months of work so far. We did finish the middle and then this back row and the corn over here. We have probably 2 more rows, and I think I'm gonna put in 1 more square for another patch of corn in the future. But this is what we have. This is what we've done. The fence is up. My husband built me a walk-in gate, which is so cute. I really like it. It's kind of like the framework for the future. So over time, it'll be really cool to see how the fence is completed. But for now, it keeps my dogs out. And the blueberries are almost covered. We didn't have enough coconut mulch for the cover. So that's still something that I need to finish. But everything's a work in progress. We got the herbs in. I have to add all the big boulders around the herbs and just watch things as it's going. But we're going to close out the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. No. That one's cracking.